What is up, guys? Orion Lonestar here with another episode of Agrarian Skies. Alright, so on last episode, we got our Applied Energistics computer up and running. What I've done, I wanted to make sure everything worked. I went ahead and, put all the most of what was in the chest outside in here. So it's bloop. So now I only have two chests left, and ooh. So what we're going to do today, let me show you what I've done, mainly to test this out. I went ahead and made everything I would need to do a 1K storage, which is what I've got in here right now, 8 1Ks. But just the stuff from my chests have filled up 3 of them. So what I want to do is I want to go to the next step. I want to get the 16 and 64K storage into my system and ready to go. So what we're going to have to do is go over here to the pattern encoder, which I have some blank patterns encoded into it already. And let's take a look at the 16K storage for a second here. Okay, 3 iron ingots, 3 redstone, and 2 glass. Alright. Now, redstone and iron we do not need to make, but we do need to teach my system on how to make glass, as well as everything else. Wow, I can't spell. Good lordy. Applied. Alright. So we're going to need to teach it how to make a storage block and some glass. Let's go ahead and do the glass first. So what I'm going to need is I need to come over here and get me some sand. Okay, sand. Well, let's get 2. And then we need to come over to actually go down below to where I have my redstone furnaces. So we'll take a look here. And let's go ahead and make 1 glass, and that's actually just going to go right into my system. What I've got down here already is I've taught it how to make a rubber bar and an ME basic processor. And what this does is it's telling the system exactly how to make it. In this case, it's going to say, if we put 1 raw rubber into this furnace, we're going to get a rubber bar. And then over here, I actually got how to make raw plastic, and it tells the system, okay, if we put a rubber bar in this furnace, we're going to get 1 plastic. That's important with Applied Energistics, which I'm just getting into, but you can actually walk your system through on how to make everything. It'll take a little ingenuity, but I mean, you can take raw rubber, turn it into plastic, or turn it into a rubber bar, and turn it into plastic with just a click of a button. Same thing with the basic processor. If you put one basic processor assembly into this system, it's going to turn into a basic processor. which then automatically goes right back into our storage system up top. So let's go back up there. Bloop. And let's go ahead. We'll change this to craftable. We already got glass, but I'm going to show you how this works. So we're going to take our sand, throw it up in there, and then we're going to take a single piece of glass and throw it into here. And it's going to tell the system, okay, you put the sand in here, and hit encode, and you're going to get glass. Now, what I like about this system is ultimately the ME interfaces act like mini computers in themselves. It acts like one of these, but uh, you know, it's very limited on what it can and can't do. In this case, it's just saying, okay, we put one sand in here. When it exports it, we'll have one glass. So that when we go up here, let's see, I still have that sand in the system, in my inventory. Okay, we got one sand. So now we go over to the craftable items. It's going to say glass is something we can make. So let's hit glass. Okay, I got some glass covers, but I want one glass. It's going to open up this little display here, and it's going to say, okay, you want glass. How many do you want? I mean, you can keep going if you really want, or you can manually input exactly how many you want. So as we know, we don't have any glass in our system right now, but if I go hit 1 and hit begin, now it's sending that sand to the system. As soon as that's done, and there you go, we got one glass. So now we got 20 glass altogether. But what we're going to be doing, let's go back to applied Energistics. Go back to storage. Okay, now we can make glass. Now we need to make a storage block. Okay, what does a storage block take? It takes some glowstone dust, some storage segments, glass, and an advanced processor. Now we already know how to make glass. How do we make a storage segment? Okay, it's 3 storage cells, glass, redstone, and a basic processor. Well, from plugging in everything to make a 1K storage other than glass, we already know how to make a storage cell. So to make a storage block, we go down to a storage cell. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go into, we'll clear this pattern out. What we need to know is make a storage segment. There you go. The REI interface will automatically put everything in for you. So since we already know how to make these, we'll encode it, and we're going to take that, put it in our inventory, and clear that out. Next thing we'd need to know how to do is make an advanced processor. Well, same deal, okay. We know how to make silicone from making the 1K. Redstone we got in our system already. And I've taught my system how to make a quartz cutting knife. And we need a diamond. So let's go ahead and go back to that. And you have to hit shift click for it to automatically put everything in. So we'll make the advanced processor assembly. Go back. Now we know how to make storage segments from right here. So now we need to know how to make a storage block. Well, again, shift click and encode. And you do this for everything. Now we know how to make a storage block. Let's make a 16K storage. Encode, and there you go. Oop. I just got a message from a friend of mine. So now we know how to make a storage segment, advanced processors, storage block, and ultimately a 16K storage. Now, since all these are just basic crafting patterns, let's just go down to our computer, and there we go. As you put them in, you kind of see what each of these actually becomes. Okay, I will need to make one of those for a specific reason. Actually, I'll need to make two. So let's go ahead, grab one stack of diamonds. We'll grab two glowstone dust, and then we'll head back to our system, put those in, and I'll show you the crafting here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to need two advanced processor assemblies. So we'll go 2 and begin. Now it's not going to show up under that. You actually either have to type it in. Actually, I would only need one. Oh well. Throw two. Well, throw one in there. And then we'll need one of those. Now we're going to teach our system how to make the advanced processor assembly. So we'll clear that out, or advanced processor, which we need to put into a furnace. So we're going to take that one and that and encode. And as you see, it says with one advanced processor assembly, you craft one advanced processor. So you go ahead and grab that. We'll clear that out. Now we're going to go down below to this. We're not going to be putting the blank or the pattern into the main system. We're actually going to be putting it into one of these above a redstone furnace, because that's where we want it to go. Essentially, we're telling the system, okay, you put the advanced processor into here, it turns into the advanced processor assembly, put it in there, and it becomes an advanced processor. So now, if we look at our setup here, we got our assemblies here, and then we got the finished product here. So let's go ahead and craft one. Actually, I think I got some already. Yeah, I got 25. Let's make 26. So, as you see, we have, well, two of them now in the system. Let's go ahead and craft both of them. So we'll hit 2. As you see, this empties out, but we also see this lighting up, cooking those, and then that's going to go now back into the system. And as you see, we now have two advanced processors. So this is going to be a big use when making the 16K storage. Let's go ahead and see if we can craft one. And there you go. We are now able to craft the 16K storage units. So now let's take it, go up to our computer, and there we go. As you see, it pops in right down here. Okay, we're also using 14.7 megajoules or Minecraft joules per tick. And you use more and more energy the more cells you got in. So I'm going to remove 3 of them. And as you see, it went down a little bit. But that's because these cells, the storage chips, weren't the biggest. Um, what I plan to do, I'm probably going to be doing it mostly off camera, is I actually want to get my ore system here not only hooked up to this computer system, but have all these ores and everything else go into it automatically. I plan to pretty much just repeat every step I just did, making, more. I did it again. I can't spell it. Applied. We'll need to make more ME drives, more storage. I might actually go up and make the 64K storage and just have it pre-programmed into my system. Um, as well as, my ME cable, imports, export buses, storage buses, uh, as well as more interfaces, because I'm going to need a ton of them. Because I've decided what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to set a small computer system up for my mob farm here. Sending the fluid down below, but, all these items I'm just going to have put into its own storage unit. Have a couple of them there. I already have a tesseract in place that I can provide it energy. So all I would have to do is just flip on the lever and let it go. I'm also going to be playing around with some of the options so I can actually down or upgrade like the broken ores all the way up to the pulverized and actually get it to automatically smelt and turn them into blocks or ingots. I know there's a way to completely automate that process. The only thing I'm worried about is if I use, the only way I can think about doing it is if I can get my autonomous activators to work with the system, automatically put hammers in when they break, and then I can set it up to automatically just constantly feed it, a set of aluminum or gravel, automatically craft that and get it to where it automatically puts sand into our induction smelter. Oh, cool. And get everything working together so that I won't have to worry about having to take all these, throw them into a smeltery or my steelworks smeltery. Oh, excuse me. And I'll have access to everything. That's going to take a little more research. Once I'm able to get all that taken care of, the next thing we are definitely getting into is bees. I should have more than enough power to get everything working independently of each other than the connection to our mass storage system. I need to play around with it a little bit, figure out some more on applied energistics, how to get things to work the way I want them. But once I've got everything figured out, I will take you guys step by step on how it's working, how I'm getting the items to where they need to be, and hopefully help you guys get your systems up and going to make Agrarian Skies a little less stressful and just make it a little easier to get everything you want crafted. So I will see you guys later. Peace.
Yeah.